Welcome back, everyone. Good afternoon. Good to see you all. It is Thursday afternoon for another rather random live stream and another phone-in. We're playing around with the technology, so this is still just a test. Listen, a nice relaxed afternoon, hopefully. If you want to call in today, the number is at the top of the screen. WhatsApp calls are free. No withheld numbers, please. Good afternoon to everyone, and you can choose the topics. I've got, a number of topics that we can talk about this afternoon, but we'll see how you guys get along and let me know what you want to talk about. As always, you are more than welcome, whether you agree or disagree with me. Feel free to call in. The number is +34 711 074 692. Once I'm on a call, if you can avoid calling me whilst I'm already on a call, that will be very helpful. I'm trying desperately to sort out the technology. Unfortunately, you can't turn off call waiting whilst you're on a WhatsApp call, only on regular calls. So it might just be that I have to turn WhatsApp calls off and you just be able to call in regularly, but that, of course, is going to cost a little bit more money because dialing a Spanish number is, of course, going to cost. So the phone line is now open. If anyone wants to call in, be the first person to call in today. You will be more than welcome. As I say, you haven't got to agree with me. If you want to disagree with me, as long as you're polite. Let's have a little look. Guna 81 afternoon. Paul, lovely timing. On my lunch break. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Claire Bear, one of my wonderful mods who always does a fantastic job. Now, a couple of things I did want to talk about today. One of them I was going to talk about the other day, but we didn't actually get a chance. The phone line was so busy that we never got a chance to talking about the anti-Semitism that's taking place in the UK today. If you are Jewish and you want to ring in and tell us what it's like to be Jewish living in the UK, perhaps particularly in a city like Manchester or London right now, that would be very interesting indeed. I'm sure the viewers would love to hear all about that. Let's just get me phone going. Who's going to be first in today? I'm just wondering, actually, if I've got all this right. Hopefully, hopefully I've got the phone line working okay. We'll see. No calls as yet, which kind of tells me there might be a problem. Hopefully not. Who's going to be first in this afternoon? The other one I wanted to talk about is Danny in Spain's video earlier on. Danny was talking about digital IDs. Tubbs, thank you, says put phone in DND when on call and turn off after. I'll have to have a look at that, mate. I've got a funny feeling we might have a problem with the phone line this morning because no one's called in yet. So I've been turning off all sorts of bits and bobs here to try and make sure that we don't get the call waiting. But unfortunately, here we go. Let's have a little look. Good afternoon. You're live. How are you doing?
Hi, Paul. It's Neo Rocks again.
How you doing?
Trying to see if your phone was working.
Yeah, it's working, my darling. Thank you so much for ringing in. How are you today?
I'm very well. I'm very well.
Good stuff.
I loved watching Starmer get humiliated by Trump. That was good fun.
That was comedy gold, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, have you seen what Tommy's doing out in Israel?
I have, yeah, very interesting indeed. He's doing a great job, isn't he?
Yeah, it was the immigration thing that got me.
Yeah.
Watching that, I was like, whoa, yeah, okay. That's crazy because it's supposed to be them that's causing it all, according to like most left-wing media.
Yeah, and you include all the mainstream media in that as well, of course.
Yeah, I call the mainstream left-wing.
Yeah, well, I've been saying for a while that we might want to consider getting away from this left versus right wing and just call it good versus evil, because I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah. But I just can't believe the narratives that are out there. And how are people so blind?
Absolutely, they certainly are. They certainly are. Thank you so much for phoning in again this afternoon. I really appreciate it. I'll move on to my next caller. Don't forget to call in again. Have a lovely day.
And you, my
See you
darling.
soon. All the
Take
best.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Next caller, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Jewish. I just went onto your site and saw you said you wanted people to ring in. Well, I've got children and grandchildren here, and I'm very, very worried indeed, because there are plenty of times when you sometimes walk along the street and people look at you in a horrible way, and I am very seriously contemplating making, as they say, aliyah to Israel very shortly. I don't know yet. We're going in 3 weeks for a mission to see exactly what's going on in terms of Israel and the kibbutzim that were ruined, etc.
Yeah.
And Nova. And I'm going to look and then see whether I know there's a future there, but I certainly don't believe there's a long-term future here. The hatred is just endemic.
When you say when you go out, so how are you visibly Jewish to these people? Through your dress?
Yes, I mean, especially, for example, when I go to synagogue, I make certain now that I don't wear I have my kippah, but I will wear a cap on top.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. Well, I suppose I look Jewish, but there have been times when, especially if I'm on a tube or something like that, where people look at you in a disdainful way. And I don't now. I wear my Star of David, and I'm very proud to wear it. But I wear it underneath my shirt. I deliberately don't have outward signs to make people necessarily aware that I'm Jewish. But I won't. Well, I won't go into London now on the weekends. I live in northwest London, in Edgware, in fact. I won't go into town in a weekend now because of the hate marches. And I do a lot of blogging. I send a lot of things into the Times and various people. I've almost been blocked from speaking to James O'Brien on LBC. I get through, and especially when he's talking about Israel, and I explain what I'm going to talk about, and the producer just says, "Well, we know your views, Anthony.
Yeah.
If I can get hold of you, I will." And I resent something like that, because the guy doesn't give you an opportunity to speak.
Yeah. So do you have children? Do you have grandchildren?
Yes, I've got children and grandchildren. My children are in nearly, late 40s, and my grandchildren are 18 and twins of 17. The 18-year-old is doing his A-levels this year and is applying to university, but is very concerned about certain universities to go to. He's got friends elsewhere and family elsewhere, and it's a problem, because some of the universities are virulently anti-Semitic, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's all this. This has obviously got worse since October the 7th, 2023.
Absolutely. I mean, the reality of the situation, especially now, you only have to look at what Hamas is doing, openly killing anybody who objects. And the anti-Semitism has got worse. I mean, some of the marches at the moment, and I don't know, you probably saw the revolting thing that this guy from Oxford posted about Zios to the ground. And, he's been arrested. Let's see if he actually gets removed from the college. I mean, frankly, I think anybody who's on those marches, and if they've got a standard sign, fair enough. But if they're sporting any Hezbollah or Hamas or from the river to the sea, then I think those people should be prosecuted.
It's an interesting comment there you mentioned, from the river to the sea. Now, my understanding of that is from the Jordanian River to the Mediterranean Sea, which would mean the extinction of Israel.
Precisely, it's from the River Jordan to the Mediterranean, and that's the whole state of Israel. It'll be completely wiped out.
Will be in between.
I actually got into a major discussion with Ben Jamal, who is the leader of the hateful Palestinian Solidarity Campaign, and he leads all these marches. And he was arguing with me that from the river to the sea is not a call for the destruction of Israel. And I made it quite clear that it was. And I was just sort of shouted down. I don't know what I'm talking about, etc. And that's what these people are. They've got what they want now. They've got a ceasefire. So what are they marching for?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. It's a little bit controversial, but I've said in the past, brilliant call, by the way. Thank you so much for ringing in.
My pleasure. Thank you. I've subscribed to your channel now, and I will be a regular. I'll be a regular listener.
Thank you so much. My concern is that they're not here to take part; they're here to take over. And you know that's my view on it. Now, if I'm not Jewish, I'm Church of England, but I have many Jewish friends, and look, at the end of the day, what I see in the UK right now, it's good versus evil. It's the peaceful, kind, loving, hard-working people versus those that want to destroy us. That's my own personal view.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I think Islamic jihadism has in many ways taken a hold here because we've allowed people into this country, etc. I'd like to think that I'm not expressing racist views or something, but I find it very difficult at times, not to say to keep quiet, but when I see some of the virulently anti-Semitic things which are posted on YouTube, etc., then I blog. Today was my blogging day, and I've been onto loads of sites. Hence how I got hold of yourself today, and I try to answer the people. I was on the Times today and made a load of comments, and I must admit the Times seems to have got a bit better in terms of the people writing in. They seem to understand the situation, because I do believe that if Israel, I think, is doing the deeds of the West. And Israel stands for, I think, well, it stands obviously for solidarity, for me being Jewish, but I think it is the one country that is standing up to Muslim jihadism.
Yeah.
And it's the only country in the world which other countries want to deliberately wipe out. I mean, I know I'm obviously preaching to the converted there, but I find it disgusting here that people are allowed to get away with these marches and make these horribly anti-Semitic remarks, and they don't get prosecuted.
Yeah, I mean, just for anyone trying to get through right now, if you could just hold on for a moment, because this is a very interesting call. Where do you see this going long term in the United Kingdom?
Well, I think unless it is addressed properly, I think there will be a lot of Jews like me who will unfortunately, and I use the word unfortunately, very seriously think of leaving the country, because I don't think there's a future. I mean, I'm in my 70s, so and no, I've retired, so for me it's not that difficult to move. But I feel very worried for my children and grandchildren in particular. I believe that unless this anti-Semitism, this virulent anti-Semitism, is stopped, and the government wakes up to the realities of the world and does something sensible, then it's going to be a desperate state in this country. I mean, Islamic fundamentalism, I think, is having a very, very strong hold. You only have to look at certain councils, and they've all been dominated. And I think that's the long-term aim. I mean, I've got Muslim friends. I don't want to sound like, I've got friends and my best friend is a Muslim. But sensible Muslims you can speak to, and they understand, because there's a lot of commonality.
Yeah.
But the extreme ones who are only interested in jihad, I think jihad is coming to the streets, unfortunately, and we've got to be very worried, seriously worried about Iran and what Iran can do, and other extreme elements.
What a great call. Thank you so much for ringing in. I really, really appreciate it. It's so sad to hear that people feel they need to leave. I mean, I've already done so myself.
I realise that, yeah.
But that is sadly what we're coming to. But apparently it's the so-called far right that's the problem.
Well, that's the excuse the government will use. I mean, two-tier Starmer, amongst other things, deliberately last year and because of Southport, he deliberately made sure that certain people got imprisoned. I'm not saying that what that lady did was right. It's certainly, I've forgotten her name now. Lucy Connolly, wasn't it? What she did wasn't right by all means, but she retracted it.
Yeah.
But when she retracted it, she wasn't given an opportunity and immediately was clamped in jail.
Yeah.
But some of these other people can actually say anything they like and they get away with it. And I don't understand why.
Yeah, she made a mistake and she paid heavily for it. Thank you so much for ringing, and I hope you ring in again. I'll speak to you soon.
I will do in pleasure, and I'll speak about something else. It's not right to hog the floor and just talk in terms of Judaism.
You stay well. All the best, my friend.
Will, and you. Many thanks indeed.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one thing, Paul.
Yeah.
The one country I certainly will. I know you're in Spain. Obviously, Israel's got more association with me as being a religious Jew. But Spain, I think, are despicable for what they've done in terms of the way they've come out anti-Israel, and I think the Spanish Prime Minister was quoted as saying that if he had a nuclear weapons, he'd use them.
Well, as a resident of Spain now, I've made a vow to stay out of Spanish politics because it's none of my goddamn business.
I don't blame you.
So you'll forgive me for swerving that one. Thanks so much for calling. All the best, Jen. Stay safe.
Nice speaking with you, and best of luck.
All the best.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. Hello. That caller has dropped out. Let's have a little look. Let's see who's next on the line. The phone goes mad when I've got someone already on. Let's have a look. They're back again. Good afternoon. You are live on the show.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello? Let's have another try. You are live. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello, Paul.
How you doing?
Hello, Paul.
I can hear you. If you can turn your computer down, otherwise we get a bounce back.
Hello, Paul.
What you got on your mind?
Well, I'm an advanced UK member. But I was just listening to the last man that called. As much as I agree, all this hatred needs to stop. I'm of the opinion that anti-Semitism shouldn't really exist as a concept. Look, I get. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. I don't believe that there should be a separate word attached to hatred for one particular race or creed.
So you're saying basically like
good
words
against evil, and it's good.
Yeah,
good is good and bad is bad.
I get that. The only trouble is that when that evil is directed particularly at one race or one religion, then it's a little bit more complicated than just good versus bad, isn't it? For instance, I could go into London today and wear a cross, and I'd almost certainly be safe. If I wore a Star of David, I may not be. There's a much higher percentage chance that I will be attacked or abused.
But I don't understand where all this hatred towards one race of people comes from. I mean, look, we all have our opinions.
If we talk about the Jews, it comes from the radical Islamists and the genuine far right.
I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, I agree with most things that you agree with. And I've followed you since the start. But yeah, I just struggle with this Israel, not Israel, Jews as such, being put up on this pedestal where they're the only ones that are discriminated against, and there's specific laws to protect them. This happens all over the world, Paul. And I just, as much as it pains, look, I don't want to see anybody discriminated against. I totally disagree with all that. I think it should be live and let live. But I just, this concept I just struggle with for some reason. I don't really know why
you're
myself.
entitled to your opinion. My take on it is this, is look, if you look at every religion across the world, every race, creed, colour, religion, whichever people that you want to look at, for some reason, the Jews are the most hated upon people of all, for whatever reason, I don't know why. But they are in particular, I mean, if you look at where they are geographically, they are surrounded by countries that would basically like to destroy them. And when you go back to the 1970s, the racism, or I say racism, it's the wrong word, racism, but the feelings from the genuine far right towards the Jewish community back then was full of hate. I do understand what you're saying, you know, it should just be good versus bad, right versus wrong, and we should all know where the line is with everyone. It's like, I don't believe in Islamophobia. And I guess what you're saying is that, you know, you feel the same way about anti-Semitism, but unfortunately, Islamophobia, if that is even a word, there are people out there that genuinely hate all Muslims just because of their religion. And there are people out there that hate all Jews just because of their religion. Thankfully, they are very small in number.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that, Paul. I get what you're saying. I mean, and we're not at the stage where Islamophobia has been written into the dictionary or into the site, you know, into...
I'd be far more worried about that than any protection. I mean, the bottom line is this, and, you know, look, I've got to say this, you know, look, when was the last time a Jew blew up a bus in London? When was the last time we had a Jewish terrorist attack on London Bridge or blew up a Manchester arena? You know, at the end of the day, they are the ones that are being targeted every Saturday, every weekend on our streets in Manchester, in Liverpool, in London. And that, for me, and I'm sure for the Jewish community, is a major, major problem. Now, I have a number of Jewish friends, and I just want you to consider this before we go. And if you don't agree with me, feel free, you're more than welcome. But I have a number of Jewish friends who are actually shitting themselves every day they send their kids to school because they don't know if their kids are going to come home. That is wrong.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Paul. It is wrong. It's not that I disagree with you. It's I struggle with this concept of anti-Semitism. I totally understand. You know, the problems that they're facing, and look. Like I say, this shouldn't be happening to any race, any creed,
I
any
agree.
colour,
and
anywhere in the world.
I don't want to be talking about anti-Semitism. I don't want to be talking about Islamophobia. I just want everyone to get on. But the problem is,
totally agree. I totally agree.
And that's the point. The problem is that when we look around our towns and cities every goddamn week, there are thousands upon thousands of people that are marching that, let's be honest, they want all the Jews gone. And that's a problem, and we must address that.
And yes, I see that. Like I say, being in the UK still, I see that on a regular basis, and it makes my skin crawl, Paul. To be honest with you, I just, you know, I don't know what the answer is, my friend. That's the bottom line.
The answer is this: the answer is, I'm afraid, is a very tough one. The answer is that we need to deport preachers of hate. We need to deport anyone found guilty of hate crimes, and it doesn't matter. I'm not picking on any one particular religion right now, but we all know, and I try and avoid using the word, we all know where the vast majority of the violence and the problems is coming from. You only have to look at the security services watch list to know where the biggest danger is. Even Shabana Mahmood admitted herself in the House. We know where the problem is. These people need rooting out and deporting. They have no goddamn
I
place
totally agree.
in this country.
I totally agree. I mean, this is why, I'm back in advance, because for me, I actually believe Ben Habib, and I think he'll do what he says he's going to do. And we need to go back to, 1980s and before then, and get this country back to what it was.
Yeah, agree. Thank you very much, mate. All the best, Jack, and I really appreciate you calling
you
in.
and the family.
You have a great week, my friend. So the line, let's have a little look. We've got someone on next. Yes, we have. Good afternoon. You are live.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, good. What's your name, please? Where are you from?
It's me, Jack again. Still over in Slough, back in the UK.
How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Are you?
I'm very well, my friend. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised that if because all these other countries are laughing at us,
Yeah.
because of the way Keir Starmer's behaving.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be surprised if us as a country started getting labelled Nazis in the future because of something stupid Keir Starmer does. Because it's gotten to the point where Tommy's had to go over to Israel to go and clarify, no, we're not like that at all. Don't believe anything that this man in number 10 is saying, because he's just, talking. So, yeah, it's gotten that bad. Probably most Jewish people are looking to get out of the UK right now, or are planning to do it in the near future, because they're probably sick of the riots and anti-Semitism across the country.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Most of the Jewish people that I know are, if not making exit plans, they are, considering making exit plans. The plan before the plan, if you like. Jack, I've got so many people waiting to get on, my friend. Thank you so much for calling again. Please do come on again soon. Thank you. Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. Please turn your. Let's have a little look. I was going to say, please turn down. You can let me try again. Hello.
Hello.
Have you got me? I can hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How you doing, Paul? It's Ben.
Hello, Ben. How you doing?
Big Ben.
Big Ben is a regular friend of mine and caller to the show. He's certainly someone I know. What you got on your mind, Ben? You're live, mate.
As you know, just come back from Turkey.
Yeah.
And I originally, 3 years ago, I didn't want to go there because of the experiences of Islamism in our country.
Yeah.
This time, I've noticed we go over there and we chartered a private yacht while we're over there. Gentleman was an Englishman and his wife was a Turkish lady. And he heard my accent. And the first thing he said was, "Oh, Birmingham's been taken over, hasn't it? By you-know-who." And the vitriol they have, the type of Islamism we have in our country, is shocking in a good way.
You're talking about the Turks in general, yeah?
Yeah. And then they walked us to some private shops. They were showing us going to some shopping after the excursion. And some English Muslim gentlemen walked past us, shall I say. And the lady turned around to us and went, "Oh yeah, these are your lot." They detested them. They couldn't believe the type of people we were allowing into the country. You're over there, you don't see, you hear the call to prayer, but the respect they have for the English people and live and let live, and Christians and Muslims, they're shocked at how England's just gone down the pan.
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of Turkish people, I believe, are not, they're not that way inclined. They're very it's a secular, bit of a secular country, or at least it used to be. I know it's gone a lot more since Erdogan took over, but in general, the Turks are pretty much like ourselves in many respects. They like the Western.
I haven't seen a single burqa the whole week I was there.
Yeah, they like the Western way of life. But Ben, listen, we often hear this from countries within the Middle East, particularly places like Dubai, where they say, "Look, listen, you're letting in the wrong people. You're letting in all the people that we don't want."
Yeah.
the shock that we should be so stupid to allow ourselves to go through it. It's mental.
Yeah, it is. Ben, thanks so much for calling, mate. I really appreciate
See you
it.
soon.
Speak to you soon, brother. All the best, mate.
Bye-bye.
For the moment, at least, the line is free. Let's have a little look. Tony, thank you so much. Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. You are live. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Who's next? Good afternoon. You are live. You okay?
Yeah.
Right. So, anyone? Good afternoon. Can you hear me? You're live on the line.
Hey Paul, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name? Where are you from?
It's Scotty John from Scotland.
Hello, Sky. How you doing? Good to meet you, mate. You all right? What's on your mind, John?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. What's on your mind, brother?
It is Scotty John from Scotland. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Loving what you're doing with the show.
Thank you very much. Did you have a point that you wanted to make this afternoon?
What it is what I'm just a bit worried about what's going on in this country. I can't see a way out of it.
Are you talking about the United Kingdom now, or Scotland in particular?
Yeah, the whole country, yeah.
Yeah, the UK. Yeah, I mean, look, it's obviously, I mean, look, everyone watching this show is probably of the same mindset. We're all very, very concerned. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any simple answer or resolution to the whole mucky mess that we're in. It's going to take a very, very long time to sort out, and that will only happen if we have the right politicians and the people with the will to put those problems right. I think Scotland in particular has a big problem. You know, I don't know where it's going to go at the next election. My guess is probably, you know,
I think it's probably going to be reform if it's anytime soon.
Do you think so?
I think reform. If there's an election called in the next, say, year, it's probably going to be reform.
What about the SNP though? They're still strong, aren't they?
The SNP are strong up here, but there is a lot of people turning against them as well after all scandals there's been.
Yeah. How on earth did Hamza Yusuf get elected up there? Can you tell me?
I have honestly no clue.
Because I've got to tell you,
honestly no clue.
I've got to tell you, that's one of the biggest mysteries in my life as far as Scotland is concerned. How did the people of Scotland vote for Hamza Yusuf?
I genuinely haven't got a clue how he managed to get into power.
It's mind-boggling.
I know I didn't vote for him.
Absolutely mind-boggling. Oh, dear, mate. Thank you so much for your call. I'm going to move on because we have a lot of callers waiting. All the best.
No worries, Paul. You take care.
All the best, brother. Take care. Next on the line, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Oh, you'll have to turn your computer down, please.
I genuinely haven't got a clue how he managed to get in.
Okay, we'll have to skip that one. If you're going to call in, please make sure that you turn your volume down before. Otherwise, all I can hear is myself. It's just one mass feedback. Let's try again, shall we? Good afternoon. What you got on your mind? You're live on the line.
Hello, Paul. Can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you well. How you doing? What's your name? Where you from?
Yeah, my name's Ray. I'm from London.
How you doing, Ray? Good afternoon, mate. What's on your mind?
Yeah, long-term watcher review.
Thank you.
Really appreciate what you do.
Thank you,
I know
mate.
it's not easy. Yeah, a few things really. I mean, you know, just the general state of the country. I work for a large security company. We look after a multi-use site, and I can see, we have a daily report, and I can see on that report exactly who are committing the crimes on the site. And unfortunately, the vast majority seem to be foreign nationals. I've worked there for
What sort of crime
now.
are we talking about, Ray?
It varies. There's all kinds of stuff. There's, you know, general theft, assaults, sometimes more serious crimes as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, say we get an updated report every day, and the vast majority is probably like, say, 90% I mean, obviously we're not privy to information about where they were actually born, but it's very obvious that the majority are foreign nationals.
Yeah.
And that is, over the years I've worked there, that has just increased and increased and increased. It's a very sad state of affairs. Obviously, border control is one of the biggest problems that we're looking at. And I just can't see at the moment anything that's being done about it.
Any way forward? Have you got kids, Ray?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Right.
So it's a major worry to me.
Yeah.
How things are going to go. I mean, things can happen very rapidly. I know we've got another few years before the next election, and it seems, well, my feeling is that it will really deteriorate rapidly in just a few years.
What are your fears for your kids as they get older, mate? Probably the same as mine, but let's hear it from you.
Yeah, it's just a major worry, Paul. You know, it's you know, I mean, my oldest, obviously, she's out and about now as a teenager. She goes into London a lot. And
what did you say? She's 17, did you say? Yeah. I mean, that's got to be one hell of a concern.
Well, it is. It's a major concern for me. I mean, she's very streetwise. You know, the little crowd, her friends and that are all there. You know, they're a multicultural crowd.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of friends from all different places,
all
different colours.
Yeah.
But I just worry about her. Well, you know, actually, I just feel that she's not safe on the streets of London. Well, in fact, I know so from my experience.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just can't see a way out of it, Paul. You know, and this is the most frustrating thing. You know, obviously, you know, advance and, you know, I've got to say reform as well. They seem to be the only option. You know, I mean, I've been a conservative voter for most of my life.
Yeah.
But even, you know, when I was younger, in my teenage years, I was more left wing.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously, as you get older and more mature, your political views can change.
Of course.
I can only see, I don't know. I don't really know the answers, Paul. I mean, I watch you a lot and I agree with nearly everything you say. But that last YouTube video you did, well, wasn't your last one, but the one where you said, the one where you used a lot of F words.
Yeah.
I just completely agreed with that.
Yeah.
And I've never seen someone really get it in a nutshell like you did on that video.
Yeah, I think, you know, as I've explained before, you know, I mean, I'm just a regular fella like everyone else. You know, I sit here behind the bloody mic. You know, I've managed to kind of, I wouldn't say perfect, but I've managed to get myself a channel up. I've managed to be able to do shows like this. But at the end of the day, I'm still just an ordinary fella. I'm not a politician. I'm not super duper educated. And when you don't use bad language, boy, oh boy, it's so much harder to put a conversation or string a bloody good sentence together sometimes. And for that video, I just thought, oh, sod it, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah,
but,
I think a lot of people appreciated that because, you know, I'm sort of similar to you. Like, you know, a lot of people in this country, a lot of people in the UK, you know, and it sometimes the frustration just mounts and you can't really express it as you maybe should do. But it was very impressive to watch.
Ray, I think that's why it's really important that we do shows like this. It gives people the chance to let off some steam, even if it's just in the comments, but at least they feel that there's something there from. Because what I'm afraid of is, Ray, is that if the British people have that jackboot stand down on their head for much longer, they're just going to end up exploding, and we just don't want that.
No, exactly. And unfortunately, that's the way it's going. You know, people feel that they can't actually talk openly about certain things. I mean, you know, this Islamophobia thing. Yeah. I mean, a phobia is an irrational fear, as far as I'm aware, of a particular thing or object or whatever. But it's not an irrational fear when you look back at the atrocities that have been committed in our country over recent years. How is that irrational to fear it?
Well, let me give you the perfect example, Ray. The perfect example. Just this week, my granddaughter went to see Katy Perry at the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
She's 13 years old. And I was crapping myself. The reason that I was crapping myself is because Salman Abedi walked into the Manchester Arena and blew himself up and a load of innocent people with him.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
is that a
that was one
phobia?
of the most that was one of the most shocking events we've ever experienced. I really do.
Exactly. And so my fear the other night, God forbid that someone would go and do the same goddamn thing. Is that a phobia? No, it's a genuine goddamn fear.
Exactly, mate. And that, that's my whole point regarding that. It's not an irrational fear; it's a genuine fear.
It's a genuine fear,
and it's something that's been it's been shown on numerous occasions to it's possible that it can occur. So
yeah,
how can it be an irrational fear? But anyway,
yeah, I agree with you, mate. And it also ties in with that call that was talking about, anti-Semitism. Islamophobia, an irrational fear.
Yeah.
He's not worried about my granddaughter going to a Katy Perry concert. That's not an irrational fear. And the people, the Jewish community, that it's not irrational for them to be fearful, because we can see the hate on the streets from every single week.
Yeah, I mean, these Palestinian protests really have been out of hand for a long time now. They basically run sort of roughshod over all our laws.
Yeah.
The police don't know how to deal with it properly because they're not getting the correct
Yeah.
commands from their from their senior officers.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with it.
No, they don't. They don't. They got no clue.
No.
They are absolutely running scared, my belief. Thank you so much, Ray, for calling in. I really appreciate it, mate.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's good to talk to you.
God bless you, mate. All the best. Let's move on to the next caller. Good afternoon. You are live on the show. Please turn your audio down for me.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Good I can, my friend.
Hello, Alan. How you doing, brother?
I'm not doing too bad, brother.
I
tell you what, this is a fantastic way of communicating.
Do you like this one?
Very difficult. Fantastic way of communicating with people.
Well, that's the idea, mate.
Ringing show, eh?
Pardon me?
God, you're doing well. I'm trying to keep track with you, lad. I'm telling you. You really make me excited. I just want to say, we've lived with the Jews here in this country since the Bolshevik Jews, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was kicked out of Russia. We took them in then, and they've lived here in peace. Everybody's lived here in peace in this country, people.
Yeah.
Apart from one race. And it's not the creation of fear, because everybody has worry. And what Paul just said about his grandchild, that worry is now turned into fear. And that is what the Jews and everybody in this country is living with.
Is feeling
at the moment.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Just give us a quick update on your health, mate, because a lot of viewers will know who you are. How are you doing at the moment?
At the moment, I've gone back into remission in my throat, but I'm still having the scans. I'm still having the scans on my face. I'm on other drugs because the other drugs was making me seriously ill. I've not got much energy, but what energy I have got, I save it for your show when you're coming on, because it comes up straight away. So I'm in contact with the outside world. Have you watched the video that I sent about the son of Hamas?
Yes, mate, I have. Yes, I have seen it. I do watch all the videos you send me out, and I don't always have a chance to respond, but I do watch them, mate.
I know you're very busy. But did you see the updated one 2 days ago?
I don't think I've seen that one, no.
I will send it to you, and I will also send you the one I watched this morning about that. I keep crying about it. Liam Tusk interviewed her, the Jewish lady that was stabbed to death, well, nearly.
Yeah.
That was the woods. And I watched the update of that, and she got an important message in that.
Yeah.
People think that this war is over in Israel. This war is not over in Israel.
Yeah.
And the son of Hamas warns of that.
Yeah, warns of it. And he knows.
The next video.
No one knows better than him. No one knows better than him.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody Muslim is horrible, because I've got really loving friends that are Muslim.
Of course.
But they don't act that way.
Yeah. It's the
They
one,
don't
it's
believe.
let's make it clear for everyone. It's the extremists that we're talking about. Alan, I'm going to let you go, brother, because there's so much support in the chat, and I've got a lot of calls coming through. I'll speak to you soon, my friend. Stay well. Good afternoon. You are live. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hiya, Paul. This is Marty from Northern Ireland.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
No problem, Paul. Thank you. I was just wondering, Paul, if Advance do get in, do you think Ben would run candidates in Northern Ireland? Because I'm sick of this green and orange over a year in Northern Ireland.
Absolutely. I mean, there are things happening in the background in Northern Ireland with Advance. I'm not qualified or given the all clear necessarily to tell you about that, but things will be happening. I mean, look, there's not a politician in the United Kingdom who supports Northern Ireland more than Ben.
I have to agree with you there, Paul. Every time I listen to him, he always mentions Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Nigel Farage does not want anything to do with Northern Ireland or Scotland, just my opinion.
Exactly. No, I agree 100%. And what you'll find is within Advance, everyone in Advance is a massive supporter of the Union and of Northern Ireland. And, you are always in our thoughts. And, big things are going to happen in Northern Ireland. But listen, the party is in its infancy. We've got so much to do. There are so many people working hard in the background. We haven't even got our official political party status approved yet by the Electoral Commission. Once that's done, things will, they're going to go balmy. Bear with us. And there will be massive support for Northern Ireland from Ben and from the party.
That's great to hear, mate. I'm just like that. Also, add Northern. I think you three guys do a tremendous job. You know who the other two guys are. Yeah. And we'd also love to see Richard standing as a candidate in Northern Ireland. Now, that's entirely a matter up to himself if he wants to do it or doesn't want to do it. But we'd love to see Richard run as a candidate.
Well, I suppose the bad news is it's a long time before we get an election. But the good news is that it gives us time to get organised.
Yeah, you're 100% right, mate.
There is a lot of, Ben, let me tell you something. Ben is a man that likes to do things right and to get things right. So whereas other people might rush into things, it's like people keep asking about policies. Well, the policies are in the making. But as Ben said so correctly the other day, when we release our policies, we want them to be right and we want them to be finished and we want them to be. We don't want to have to think about changing them down the line, unlike Reform and other parties that they put out a policy and then before you know where they are, they're changing it again. We want to put out a set of policies that everyone agrees with, understands, and we won't be deviating from them.
That's good to hear, Paul. And us people in Northern Ireland, we still stand with the mainland, so we do so. We have got the English.
We know that. We trust me when I tell you, the vast majority of us. I was going to say in England, I'm in bloody Spain, but the vast majority of Brits, we know the score. Don't worry about that.
Thanks, mate. It's been good talking to you and take care, mate.
And you, God bless you, mate. All the best.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Bye.
Let's have a little look who's next on the line. Good afternoon. You are live. What's your name and where are you from?
Hello, Paul.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Great. It's John.
John?
Yeah.
From?
Wiltshire.
How you doing, John? What's on your mind, mate?
Oh, a little bit under the weather. I got some some flu or something at the minute, so I'm not at my best.
What's going on?
I just thought I'd say, being where I am here, I thought we may kind of, be forgotten, but over the last sort of 5 years, I've realised how bad it really is.
In what way?
Well, just some of the stories that you're hearing. I mean, just recently on YouTube, there was in Swindon, there was an attempted kidnapping. I don't know if you heard of that.
No, was that a youngster?
Teenager, girl. Yeah. Luckily, some locals stood in and separated it, but it's just unbelievable how much it's, you know, turned on its head.
It's gone downhill quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah. You thought, sort of, I don't know, mid-teens, 215, it was kind of under control, but there is no control now, is there?
No, very, very concerning. It's very concerning indeed. I'm going to move on, mate, because I've still got loads of calls coming through. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Hello, yep.
Yeah, I've got you. What's your name? Where you from, mate?
How you doing, Paul? It's Martin, originally from Wales, now living in Bulgaria, and a friend of Danny Salmon. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm very good, mate. I've never guessed you're originally from Wales.
Yeah, it's one of the things we just have to live with, Paul.
Bless you. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks, pal. I'm very, very good, thank you.
What's on your mind, brother?
My question to you, Paul, is, like yourself, I backed reform when they first started because he was saying all the right words. And then he flip-flops he's flip-flopped on every bloody thing that I believed in. What's your honest opinion about Advance's chance of winning 2029, mate?
Okay, so look, you know me, I don't bullshit. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give you the honest truth.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. But it's doable. And I tell you why I think it's doable, because all those people that voted for Brexit, if they look at the policies of the parties that are in front of them, and basically, there's only two, isn't there? Advance and Reform.
Mm-hmm.
If all the people that are worried about illegal migration find the courage to vote for Ben and Advance, then we can win the next general election. Ben has said, if we can get to 1 million members, we will walk the next general election. Now, at the moment, we are a very, very long way from that. But the only thing that's stopping us from winning the next election is people out there that say, stop splitting the vote, I'm going to vote Reform, because all you're actually doing is you're voting for revert. You're voting for a load of ex-failed Tories, with the odd Lib Dem chucked in, with Nigel as a leader that nobody can remove. That doesn't sound like the People's Party to me. Now, Reform have grown exponentially because people are sick to death of the Uni Party. They're sick to death of two bad halves of the same whole.
Yeah.
And I believe firmly that Reform only got off to the great start they got off to because there was no other alternative. It was like the best of a bad bunch.
Exactly, and that's what we all fell for, let's be honest, Paul.
Yes, we did.
You, me, Danny, we all fell for it.
And we can't blame ourselves for falling for it either. We didn't have any choice.
We had nowhere else to go, let's be honest.
Exactly.
We had absolutely nowhere else to go.
Exactly.
My wish personally was that Rupert Lowe would have joined up with Ben.
Yeah.
And we'd have had both of them. Let's be honest, they would have been a formidable force. I mean, Ben, I'll tell you a story now, which can be backed up by Richard. My wife and I, we flew over from Bulgaria just to meet up with Rich and Jojo, just to show our support.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I would do a little video for Ben, which I did, and we sent that to Ben. And within the hour, Ben had replied to me with a personal message. I mean, you don't get that from any other politician. You just don't get that.
Ben's an amazing, caring man.
Mate, he's the only person that I honestly believe in. I listen to the man. And my wife, she isn't political at all. Yeah, even she sits down now and listens to him talk.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I couldn't agree with you more. And this is the thing. Anyone watching this now that doubts Advance or doubts Ben, or has any doubts in their mind that they can't do it, well, you will be the people that's stopping them from doing it. Ben is a true man of the people. Why do you think he's invited me onto the college? I mean, who the bloody hell am I to be invited onto the college of a political party? But he does it because he knows that I have a connection with the people.
Sorry to take up any more of your time, but that was another reason for the phone call. I asked Danny to send you a message. I don't know whether he has or not. Because when I met with Jojo and Richard, they were on about me joining the college.
Yeah.
And I said, what really can I do over here? And they said, there's loads of stuff you can do remotely. Now, I know you're in Spain at the moment, mate. Yeah. And I'm in Bulgaria. And but I've got like 27, 28 years. working for local government.
Yeah.
Doing policies, doing white papers for the Welsh government and the like. And so I've offered my help on there. So if there's anything I can do environmental wise, I was head of environmental permitting. And I've offered my help because, like I said, I'm sick to death of people being put in place and they've got no background of the department they're running.
Yeah.
You know, people running the Department of Health and they're not a nurse, they're not a doctor, they've got no knowledge.
Yeah.
So that was my question. Do you think it's worthwhile, people like myself, joining the college on when they've been asked to?
Absolutely,
Cool.
100%. You know, and I'm, you know, Sarah has recently moved over from Reform to Advanced. Listen, we are the People's Party, but we cannot be the People's Party without the goddamn people.
Okay, mate.
And that's the deal, you know. So join us. I mean, everyone, please join us.
Absolutely. All right, Paul, thanks for your time, mate. And
All the
I
best.
I have asked Danny to send you a message, so if you could just try and pick that up, that would be appreciated.
All the best, mate. I will
have
do.
a lovely day, Paul.
And
Take
you,
care now.
brother. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye. You're welcome.
Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Hello. Hello.
Oh, have I got through?
It's Paul.
Hello, Paul. This is Kelly. I'm from Surrey.
Hello, Kelly. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm loving the
I just
pictures of
wanted
your
to-
dogs on your phone now. I can see.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah, I
A
can.
dog and cat.
What you got on your mind, Kelly?
Please, would you help cover Graham Moore's story with the English Constitution Party?
Yeah.
Andy, the Gabby Cabby, has been covering it a lot, but there doesn't seem to be a lot out there.
Okay.
And Graham's currently at a court case today, highlighting cheating at the voting polls.
Okay, I will speak to Andy about that, and I will do my very best.
He's been pleading lately on his channel constantly for other people to be helping spread the story.
Okay.
And also with the English Constitution Society, they're highlighting English laws that are in place, that should still be in place, that if, you know, they're recognised, would just basically bring down the government how it is at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just really important. So Graham Moore from the English Constitution Society is actually at the
Go on,
it's
sorry.
at the Strand today between 10 and 4.
Yeah.
There's a court hearing because obviously him and 4 others have witnessed cheating in the polls.
Yeah. Ah, yes,
and
yes,
so
yes,
it's gone
yes,
to-
yes, yeah.
gone to court.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to cover it up today by having it dismissed. So there's a really important hearing today.
Do you know what, Kelly?
If it-
I did watch Andy's video on this the other day, and I thought, wow, yeah, there is something that I want to
Yeah.
get around to. Thank you for reminding me.
If it doesn't get dismissed, there's 2 more court hearings in Chester, November the 3rd and the 4th. And they want as many people as possible to go to these court hearings so that it can't just easily be dismissed. If they see that the people are aware of it and that we care, you know, it's not so easy for them to dismiss it. But basically, if he highlights, if it does come through that there was cheating at the polls, you know, it can bring this Labour government down, which I know Ben's not ready for that yet anyway,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's got huge implications. So Andy's pleading, please can everyone watch Andy, the Gabby Cabby's YouTube account and follow the story about the English Constitution Society. And also please support Graham Moore, because I think in Andy's recent video, Graham may have something like a £20,000 court cost for this.
Oh, wow.
So he also has a GoFundMe account, which will be linked on one of Andy, the Gabby Cabby's recent reels.
Yeah.
So please, can you support him, Paul, and get anyone else that you know to support him as well. This needs to be huge, but most of the news seems to be about Tommy Robinson, which is really necessary, but this is also just as huge.
Do you know
Please
what,
support him.
Kelly? I think that's the problem for all of us. There's so much going on in our lives
Yeah.
that you know,
Yeah.
we get one story, we get another story. I mean, we probably get asked to cover 10 stories a day, but I remember watching
Okay,
Andy's video
yeah.
about it, and I thought, wow, this is mind blowing. So I'm going to speak to Andy about it. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. And your
Thanks
dogs
for
look,
picking up my call. I couldn't believe it. when
your
I
dogs look lovely,
logged
by the
on.
way. Very sweet.
Thank you. And Paul as well. Are you from Sutton?
Originally, yes.
Yeah, I grew up there as well.
Yeah, I bet I haven't been back there for probably 35 years.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dive now.
I bet it is. All the best, Kelly. Have a good day. Cheers. Thank you very much. Who's next on the line? Good afternoon. You are live. How you doing? What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, Paul. I'm Helen.
Hello, Helen.
Helen Crystals on the YouTube. I'm from Berkshire. You'll have to excuse me because I get really nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's only me and a few people listening.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about how do we bring back, how do we make integrity cool again? So you think we all want to go back to a country that we had probably a couple of decades ago.
Yeah.
And something that I think was very important back then was integrity, honesty. You know, someone gave their word. If they broke their word, they'd be embarrassed for it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, a lot of, especially the politicians and celebrities and people, seem to get praised for being. I'm not going to swear.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know what you mean. It's a great question. How do we get the integrity back? And I mean, look, for me, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for anyone else. But look, when I was growing up, I'm not going to tell everyone that I was an angel. I wasn't. I was a little git, to be honest with you. When I was in my sort of early teen years, 13, 14, 15, I wasn't the nicest person in the world. I was hanging around with the wrong crew and doing things that teenagers do. But I had two advantages and two things that I think saved me. One was I had good parenting, and I always respected my parents. Even if I didn't listen to them, I respected them. The other thing is that I feared what might happen to me if I was caught. Now, if I was caught misbehaving at school, we'd get the shit beaten out of us. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not joking. We would have the living daylights knocked out of us at school, and we knew that in our own society, amongst our own friends. I mean, I had a huge circle of friends, but if we took the pee out of some of them and we took liberties with them, we were going to get a kick round the ear hole, to say the least. So there was this expectancy of respect from our peers, if you like, and certainly at schools. I think most of that has gone nowadays.
But even the criminals back then had principles.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
You know, most of them would, they'd never pick on an old disabled lady, for instance.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
Whereas now they're seen as fair game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you now, where I grew up, some of the biggest names in the underworld were around. And they were all well known. And I can tell you now that the elderly and the children were safer on the streets 100%. And people can look back and say, oh, yeah, well, they're just criminals. And they may well have been. But at the end of the day, I tell you now, there was a respect on the street and on the estates that is not there now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Particularly for our elderly and the children.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very unfortunate it's gone. How do we get it back? Oh my God, what a great question, and how difficult is it to answer? I mean, I don't know. Where would you start?
I don't know.
Schools.
But it's reflecting in politics because, I mean, if you look at the leaders of some parties, they've already shown us they're quite happy to play dirty tricks.
Yeah.
They're really not the people with the highest integrity.
Yeah.
And yet people are seeing them as they're going to save the country and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they think what they're doing, you know, it's not just.
Oh, they believe it as well.
Okay, we're put up with it. They think what they're doing is the right way to do it.
They believe it. They really do believe it. But this is what you get when you have an insular upbringing. They have no idea about the real world and the real world that regular people live in. And this is why I think the time has come for a party like Advance, and I'm not just using that to give Advance another plug here, but what we need now is we need to get past the belief or the perception that a politician wears a nice suit, has a posh accent, and was brought up in a, super duper area. And that only people with the right accents have got the intelligence or the heart to govern other people or to look after other people. Now, I can tell you something now. Some of the best people that I've ever met in my life and that would do anything for anyone speak just like me.
Yes.
And some of the worst people I've ever met in my life, some of the most corrupt people that I've ever met in my life, have been well-dressed, well-spoken.
Come across really well,
They come across, they're the best salesman that you could ever wish to meet. So, the public's perception, the British public's perception, and there's always been a class barrier in the UK, always.
I've been saying to people when we're talking about advance and being new, and they're saying, oh, but they haven't got any policies yet and that type of thing. And I'm sort of like, the thing is, though, you get a politician who's got advisors who've come up with all these wonderful policies that will make them popular.
Yeah. And they go back on them.
But they're liars.
Yeah.
So how can you trust them to do it anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd much rather support a party of people where I can see the integrity. I can see they want to do the right thing. And yes, maybe at the moment I have to take a leap of faith that the policies are going to be right.
Yeah.
Because I trust them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all we're asking everyone to do. I mean, a brilliant call. Thank you so much. I mean, look, we're asking everyone to take that leap of faith. Trust us, believe in us, see what we can deliver. And here's the thing. This is the deal with Ben, is that he's going to produce these policies. And if he breaks them, we in the college, within the party, will have the power to remove him.
And that's normal, decent people who can do it as well.
Exactly. Ordinary, everyday people, working class people, people from right across the spectrum. We all have the power to remove our leader. So it's, for me, it's the biggest chance that we have to have a genuine people's revolution, a people's political revolution ever in our history. And I just hope and pray the people across the country take that chance up.
It's again, like, how do we make integrity cool again? It's how do we get people to see that integrity?
Yeah, exactly. Whilst you're on the line, I'm just going to take this comment that's come up. You might want to comment on it yourself. Andy Biggs B says, vote reform is the only way out of this shit. I mean, my comment to that, Andy, would be, do you honestly believe that they're going to get us out of this shit? Because I'm afraid I don't. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for. That's your right. But do you really believe they're going to act? I mean, Zia Youssef as the party chairman, and look at all the ex-Tories that they're bringing in, the ex-Lib Dems, etc. These people never delivered before. Why do you think they'll deliver in the future? To me, it's a mystery. Right, I'm going to let you go. I've still got one or two calls.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much for coming on. I
Keep
really
going.
appreciate
You're doing
it.
a great job.
Thank you so much. And by the way, another lovely dog on the profile pic.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
All the best. Yeah. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Good afternoon. You are live. Oh, look who it is. I know that face. How you doing, brother?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm very well, my friend. You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Did I make it through?
You're through. You're live. Give your first thing. I'm not going to announce you. You can announce yourself. Go on.
Hello, guys, ladies and gentlemen, patriot truth seekers. This is the Baraka Show. I'm playing.
Baraka Show. How you doing, brother? You all right, my friend?
I'm doing really great. I just wanted to come in and first of all say thank you for what you do.
Oh, mate.
I've been watching you since the start of my, creating this big.
I think what you do is more important than what I do. So thank you.
I think we equally do good job. Thank you. And the reason why I wanted to tune in is because I did a segment yesterday, and the title of it was called "Nobody's Coming to Save You," and I was targeting more about the young folks, because a lot of the problem that we do, a lot of things that we say, it always impacts old people, folks. Like who have their career sorted, they have their
Yeah.
job, they have their mortgage, they have their house, they got, they got kids and stuff. But we never really talk about the 24-year-old guy who graduated 3 years ago and still in his mom's house, doesn't know what he's going to do. And he's been applying for work back and forth, and there's nothing there for him. And then the government comes out saying, hey, we're going to clap down on youth employment. And then you try to push them in the market where now more taxes are coming, no jobs, and they have to compete with people who are applying from India or Pakistan. It's like, what do we have for young people? Because that was the segment yesterday, and I got to learn so many stuff that I didn't even know. And then I was thinking, no way, there's actually nothing for young people. And now they try to push us to join the army to, But no, that was the segment. Now, of course, obviously, you're older than me, wiser than me, and you've seen a lot more things than I have. So I wanted to reach out and ask, what can the young people do? What is there for young people? I mean, what sort of belief and philosophy that the young people have to, how to adopt for them to feel like, hey, they can build something for themselves, especially in today's Britain?
Mate, I love that question. I think it's a brilliant question. It's not an easy one to answer because I believe that I think a lot of the time it starts at home, right? It depends on your upbringing. You got your parents, and not everyone is blessed to have good parents. So we'll put the parents into one side at the moment because that is, if someone comes from a bad family, that's not their fault. But let's just say they come from a regular family. At school, when back in the day, like you rightly said, I'm a bit older than you, just a bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
Just a bit, mate. When I was back at school, we were basically, we weren't told that we would never make a success of ourselves. We were given what we were taught is if you work hard, you will succeed. Now, some of us, they would say to us, you'll never go anywhere, because we were showing the wrong attitude. When we applied ourselves and we showed the right attitude, then we were encouraged and we were told that we could do pretty much anything that we wanted. Now, this is an interesting point. I went to school in a South London council estate, and I was in a particularly, what shall I say, in a particularly rough school, in a particularly rough class. And in my class, there was 32 of us when we started, and there was less than 16. I think there was 15 or 16 by the time we'd finished. The rest had been expelled. A couple had taken their own. A couple of them had ended it all before we got there. But every single one of those guys today is a millionaire, is a self-made businessman. They've got out there, they've worked hard. So I think for me, it's all about your own mind, your philosophy. It's very easy for people to knock you down and you to say, well, you know what, I'm going to lay in bed because everyone tells me that, I'll never do this, I'll never do that. This was and still is, to many degrees, one of the greatest countries in the world where you can get out and do something with your life, but no one can do it for you. And that's right. I think the problem with a lot of the younger generation today, and I know I sound terribly old when I say that, but a lot of the younger generations today are looking for someone else to deliver that for them on their plate, and it's not going to happen. You've got to get out there and graft. And, I'm not blowing smoke up your backside now, but look at you. You've come to this country legally, you're working, you're making a career on social media, you are determined, you're focused, you do what you do, and nothing is going to stop you. And that gains you support, it gains you respect, it gives you self-esteem, it gives you something to get up for in the morning. Far too many youngsters these days, I think, just feel that the world owes them a living, when in fact it's the other way around. They've got to get out there and prove their worth.
Yeah, that's the understanding coming from a lot of people. But actually, because obviously most of my friends are young, same age as myself.
Yeah.
So when we do speak, they're actually out there looking for something. They want to start something. They want a career. They want to join something and do very well. I got a couple of friends who joined the Brick Lane when they were 16, and now they've done something for themselves. They did it as a apprentice, and they've done, obviously they stay there. They've been probably, some of them have been there for like 10 years since high school. They just done really well. A lot of people didn't pursue, never really pursued that type of career. When we went to college, we went to university, we got all these debts, we got all this debt that we need to pay, school debts and stuff. And then when we come out of school, a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I see that I went to school with, they got their qualification, they've done everything, and now it's been 2 years and they're still looking for work. And then when they don't find anything, they obviously, it's easier for them to be bought into wrong ideas, like going into the street and protesting every day, communism, revolution, and all these sort of things. That's easy to grab them because nobody's actually there to say, hey, actually, we're going to do this for young people. We're going to create a market where you guys can thrive. But the worst thing that I see is that a lot of young people are being called lazy, but there's nothing there for them to go and exercise their knowledge on.
This is where this is where we come from two completely polar opposite generations. You see, when I was your age, we were encouraged. We could get a mortgage fairly easily.
Exactly that.
You could go and rent a property like that. It was easy to rent a property. It was easy to open a shop. You could go and, if you had an idea and you think, I need a shop for that, you could go and open one. Now, the problem is that your generation is being brought up in a period where you can't even get a sodding bank account half the time. So
speaking of bank account, I've been debanked for what I do. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, that's common practice, mate. That's common joint. Welcome to the club. This is the thing.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you.
They make it so difficult. Look, some cultures are productive. Some cultures aren't. Now, in the UK, unfortunately, we have a culture of how difficult can we make your life.
Exactly.
Not how easy can we make your life. So for me, what we need is a philosophy with the youngsters where we say to them, right, how can we help you? How can we make your life easier? How can we encourage you to do these things? Not how difficult can we make it for you to do these things? So for an example, when you go and open a bank account, I mean, I don't know if anyone's tried to open a bank account up lately, but it is virtually goddamn impossible. And even if they say yes, they're likely to kick you out within 6 months.
That's it.
And this is the problem. So we live in a society where, I mean, a lot of people will not have liked Margaret Thatcher, and I understand why, but Margaret Thatcher, as a Prime Minister,
she was tough, yeah.
She was tough. She was a patriot, and she made a lot of people's lives more productive, if you like. Now, if we go to a different part of the country, up to the north and to Wales, where the miners were, that's a different story. But at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. Look, I do believe there's an element out there of the youngsters that have come from university that think the whole world owes them a living. I do believe that, and nothing will change my mind. There's what's the old saying? Look, when the youngsters who lean to the right haven't got a job, they go out and find one. When the youngsters from the left haven't got a job, they blame everyone else. And that's there's also an element of that. But look, our young have been neglected for years, just like the NHS, just like our elderly, just like our veterans, just like our homeless. The country is upside down.
Yeah, I think it really is. And you made a lot of good points there, especially Margaret Thatcher. She was really, she made everybody think that, not just think, know that they can build something from nothing. And that's why a lot of folks who have a lot of money right now is just the environment that she built, and she put Britain first, and even going to war with the Falklands and all the stuff that she did. Yeah, she fought like I think she has. I would say she has more balls than most of the prime ministers that we've had in the last 10 years. So
exactly.
Say that. Hopefully YouTube won't censor you for this, and maybe that's why my channel.
Listen, mate, you know, the job that, just give your channel a shout out, mate, before we go.
Yeah, so for anybody who's watching, if you just search up the Baraka Show, I think my name is in the chat for those people who have watched me or know me. Just search up the Baraka Show and I'll, you know, it will come up. Hopefully it comes up, because now YouTube have basically done, like now to get 100 views now, Paul, is like, whoa.
Yeah,
like,
they've slaughtered us all, mate. Join the club.
It's fine.
They have slaughtered us all as far as views are concerned. Baraka, all the best to your brother, and I'll speak to you soon. God bless you, mate.
So much,
Take care.
I'll keep on watching. Cheers.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
mate. Good afternoon. You are live. How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? Hello? Hello? Nope, no answer. So we'll hang that one up. Thank you very much for trying at least. Let's go through the supers. Paul, put the DN on. Thank you. I did that one yet. Cheers, Tony. Thank you for the super sticker. Rock Ape, thank you. And Nina Vanava. Nina Vanava, hi, my lovely. Just got back from Cyprus and I'm confused in Cyprus hotels and other buildings. Fly the British flag, and here they find it offensive with Ben Habib all the way. Nina, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Who have we got on the line there?
Hi, it's Anne. Can you just nod if you can hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, right, that's amazing. I can't believe I got through to you, Paul.
How you doing?
I'm good. I always call you my brother from another mother. We share the same birthday, but 10 years apart.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I bet you're 10 years younger than me.
Sorry?
I said, I bet you're 10 years younger than me.
I am, exactly.
Yeah, I thought you would be.
Exactly, to the day. Yeah. What I wanted to just get off my chest really is just how many people in this country are still so apathetic. Now, for instance, I find it very frustrating and I find it quite alienating. For instance, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. My oldest friend, and I mean my oldest friend, I've known her since I was 3. She just buys everything from the MSN. She always does. And recently she went to a town. She lives in Isleworth, and she popped next door, and to the town next door, I think it's Hounslow. And she admitted to me, she said, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe what it was like during the day. I didn't feel safe walking around." So I said to her, this is why, you know, people like me have been talking out about this for so long. You know, we didn't want it to get to a level where people felt so unsafe to walk around, where things were so bad that that things got so bad that it was going to be really hard to reverse the damage. Yeah. And you get it all the time. Also, I got like my brother, you know, he's completely bought into this whole business with the marches and everything. And it's just all I'm trying to get off my chest really is, you know, I think a lot of people will relate to this, is the fact that, you know, what do you do when your nearest and dearest, even this late in the day, just don't want to hear? You know, my friend brought this up, for instance, and then when I said that to her, she wanted to cut the conversation off. Yeah. And I'll give you another example of what happened. When the Southport riots happened, you know, we know why that happened, because the most heinous crime, the absolute most heinous crime. But then she heard that obviously there was riots after, and do you remember there was a list of riots? They said a list of things was going to happen. Yeah, which never
occurred.
Yeah, exactly. And she was just obsessed with, oh, my service users where she was, oh, my people are terrified. They're terrified. And I'm thinking, literally days after this most heinous act has occurred, it's been forgotten, and people are buying into this whole thing and worrying about some kind of far right that doesn't exist. And I just, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of getting off my chest and seeing what, you know, how
you're welcome to do that. And I feel exactly the same. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think we're living, I mean, I used to laugh when we used to say the woke mind virus, but I actually think it's genuine. It's real. I mean, it really is some kind of mental disorder. I just can't get my head around why people can't see what some of us can see. The other thing is as well is that the mainstream media has always been very powerful in this country. I mean, we are of a certain age that we were brought up and it was Auntie Beeb, you know, and we believed in our national broadcaster. And I'm afraid that many people of a certain age just can't see through that. They still have a trust for the mainstream media. And I'm not sure what it's going to take for it to change. Some people just seem beyond help, in all honesty. But I agree, it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Sometimes you think, well, the only way you're ever going to learn is when it, hits you on the head.
Exactly, and this is the thing with it. And I'll be honest with you, for all the things that are going on, sometimes I get more frustrated with these people, because if these people would wake up, it would never have gotten this bad. It's just like this persistent, I need to stick my head in the sand no matter what, because I just don't want to acknowledge a problem, because then I might have to do something. And it's just this whole, I find it almost lazy. It's like, yes, you'll have to do something, because your freedoms are not free like that. You know, we've been very privileged since the Second World War. To people have just been lulled into this sense that, this is just the
Freedom
way it
is
is.
free.
You've never had to fight. Yeah, that's right. And that, it's just like no sense of history. It's like everybody's got at least some sense of history. So you're like, what? Well, just look back. Through the history of the world, people have had to fight for rights and for freedom.
It's a great point. I often say that if you want to learn about the future, look at the past.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
we can learn a lot from that. I couldn't agree more. Though the frustration is huge. I've got family members that are the same way, and it's very frustrating. But I've got to the point with those now where I just don't bother, let them get on with it. And
I am the same, but the thing is, I think that my concern is that we need to still wake up a few more of these people, because you just think, if what happens if the next election there's still too many people asleep? I don't know how that can be. Or I mean, like my friend, she's the one that just basically noticed this, and even when she noticed it and she brings it up, as soon as I say, oh well, she just wants to shut the conversation down.
Some people are generally ignorant. Some people are maybe a bit fearful. But at the end of the day, look, it's all of our job to try and, get people to open their eyes and their ears. But there comes a point when I think we know when we think, we'll leave it at that, because this person is not for turning,
Yeah.
And, it's led to lost friendships. It's led to families splitting up. There's been all sorts of issues. But I'm afraid that for me, this has got a lot worse since October the 7th, 2023, after the incident in Israel, because and it's brought all the baddies out of their caves, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. This is it. Like I say, my brother didn't speak about Palestine until after then, and and then he just put it all over his Instagram, and I just say nothing. But the thing is, again, I think the other thing that you talk about lost friendships. I don't want to have lost friendships, but I do feel alienated from these people now, because I get so frustrated that in a way I don't want to be around them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because I don't. Because I don't want to. I don't want to end up. Because I find a lot with people on the other side of the political spectrum is that they basically they should be allowed to say what they say. But the minute you say anything, they're going to shut you down. So you think, well, I just don't want to be around you then.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
Why would I want to be around you?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I want to get off my chest.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's a great call, and I agree entirely. It's very frustrating. Thank you so much. Let's see who's next on the line. Good afternoon. You are live. Have they come through? No, they have gone. Right, let's have a little look. We have been on for an hour and a half. Shall I keep going? Let's have a little look. Yeah, hold on a minute. Nope, that's a Spanish number trying to get through, so I think I'll turn that one down. That's probably not for the show. Good afternoon. You are live. Can you hear me? Nope, not happening there. Shall I carry on? Let's have a little look. Let's have a look in the chat. Ben Habib has integrity and honesty, absolutely. There's no honesty in government. Absolutely. Right, okay, I think I'm going to wind it in now. Let's bring the show to an end. Thank you so much for watching this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Again, look, we're getting the technology right. Ultimately, we'll get it right, hopefully. It's not been too bad today. I cannot stop the beeping. That's the biggest problem. I can't stop the phone from beeping. If people call via WhatsApp, I can't stop it, unfortunately. So I might have to switch over just to regular calls, but that means that you're going to have to pay. You can't call for free. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll give it another try, the way in which we've done it today. See how it goes. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done so already, please give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. I'm live again tonight, this evening at 9 p.m. UK time with Momus Najmi and Richie Taylor from Advanced UK. It's going to be an interesting one tonight, live at 9 p.m. on this channel. I'll see you later. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.